Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
I can't believe the universe is never going to hear a great tune bit.
I mean, you know, it's not something that it couldn't be replicated. And they heard your side, so...
You'll just
the B-side.
Audio. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. It's a podcast.
Podcast about the Toods.
About the Toods. Where are they? Where have they gone?
Where did they come from?
What are they up to?
Where did they go?
Nope. Stop.
Please,
nope.
let me.
Nope. No, I will not. I refuse.
Honestly, this is called Into the Twilight, but really, this is the new podcast about the movie 8th Grade.
True.
This is a fan cast about the movie 8th Grade.
Yeah.
Who we've received no money from.
And will never.
But I've given all my money to. I need to ask you so many questions after seeing this film. Mainly, Cody.
Yeah.
Did you bring your lunch to school?
So we're talking in 8th grade, I'm assuming.
In your youth. No, now. Yes, Cody, now.
No, because I don't know, I went to a lot of different schools, so, I feel like each version of school, I did things a little differently.
Sure.
But, in high school, in my 7th through graduating high school, I was in the same school. It was, both a middle and high school or whatever.
Whoa, what?
When I lived, which is actually pretty popular on the East Coast. So they're, combined, basically. We didn't have, a cafeteria, because it was, this is New York, just go
that's
get some
right.
food, or buy a lunch or whatever. But in elementary school, when I didn't live in New York, I would bring lunch. Usually my mom would pack a lunch, or there was this weird thing where you could, order some shit. Again, there wasn't, a real cafeteria. It was, we partner with, local, whatever, shops in the area, and if you just, pay this whatever flat fee, you can, get a hot dog or, something, some stupid kid lunch.
Sure.
And that was that. Yeah, that was when I was feeling I felt fancy if I did that. I was ooh, okay.
The fancy Postmates for elementary school.
for the youth, yeah.
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 So I'm glad that you had this experience then, because this is what I really wanted to ask you. While watching this movie, I had a recovered memory of trading lunch items from packed lunches. And this was not something that happened at my school. At least not for me and my friends. But this is something that I think within American culture is something that is thought of, right? That
for sure,
you go into the cafeteria and you're supposed to open up your lunch bag and swap things.
Gross, I got tuna. Who's got...
Right.
Jeremy, can I get your bologna sandwich?
Oh, God.
Listen, we all had bad taste at elementary school, okay?
Right. And so I wanted to know what your experience was with trading lunches in your youth. If that was a thing.
I feel I don't remember that ever happening. I feel it was just, something that was in every movie about being, or, every TV show about being in, middle school or elementary school. That was, gross. I don't want this. My mom made me a terrible lunch, and I don't want to eat it, because I like kid food. Whatever.
Right.
Let me get those goldfish, or whatever.
Yeah, I just want to inject Gushers into my veins all day.
Okay, but for real, though?
I want to do that right now.
Yeah. Dude, oh my god, last week, I was at Target on a bender, as you do, wandering the aisles.
Your memoir title.
Yeah. And, I have not had Gushers in probably a decade.
Oh, fuck.
And they were on sale for, $1.50 $50 or something for like a big old box of all of them, and I was like, this is well enough in my budget of like fuck shit foods that I can just buy and be probably okay.
You know, that section of the food pyramid.
No, because I'm like, here's my grocery budget, here's like real food, and that's like most of it, that's like 99% of it, and I'm like, there's like a couple bucks where I'm like, I could fuck around and be okay.
Right.
And that was that particular purchase, and it was extremely good.
That's so good.
Yeah, Gushers still fuck, I'll say it.
Oh my god.
I'm not a coward.
No, I completely agree. I have been making way too many trips up to Seattle these past few weeks, and have stopped too many times at a, like, 7-Eleven grocery, like, gas station lately, and have found that I've needed some sort of snack to keep me alive on these, like, excursions. And on my most recent one, right up at the cash register, they had this, like, snack pack of Gushers, and it was, I don't know, the best kind, the, like, blue and red, purple kind, and they were They were like a sour version, and I was like, hello, just put my name on these. And so I got them, and when I ended up unzipping them. Yeah, when I seduced these in my car,
I made them strip for me.
They had all, like, congealed.
Oh, yeah, that's what Gushers does.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's hot, we are now one Gusher.
Yeah. we are a hive mind of one.
We formed a union, we are one collective Gusher.
The unit of Gusher.
Yeah.
And so it was just me trying my best to drive with two hands while just, like, eating this one 30-piece Gusher.
Like noshing on a giant glob of Gusher.
Yeah, just like with sticky mixed finger fans. And it was just the worst decision I've ever made. But I just needed it so bad at like 8:30 in the morning. I don't know why I had just gotten to thinking about this after watching that movie of like trading lunches, because it was never something I did.
Yeah.
I recently asked my boyfriend about this because to see what other experiences, because his are always weird, you know, because he grew up where they filmed Twilight, so it's like, you know, the rules don't apply there.
He lived in cursed grounds.
Exactly. And he said that it was outlawed at his school.
Sorry, what? Why is Chris the weirdest person that's ever lived? What life has he... What the fuck?
I know. And he didn't say why. I was like, oh, okay, so it was probably for, like, allergy reasons, right? That they didn't want these kids making, like, you know... Some kid, Jeremy, ends up with fucking peanuts, right? And so the school gets sued.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh no, it's probably because they didn't want these kids making whack trading decisions, right? Like, you need to learn the economics of trading.
There's like a teacher that steps in and is like, hey, whoa. This is an unfair trading ratio.
You don't get to trade Doritos for raisins, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy just tried to pawn you a box of raisins for 2 of your cosmic brownies. No fucking way.
Oh my god.
No fucking way. There's like a lunch ref. It's like, no. That is foul play.
Yeah, the principal gets up here and he's like, listen, Otis Spunkmeyers are worth more than this. Have you learned nothing in this school?
We've tried to teach you and we failed.
If one more kid thinks that oatmeal raisin and chocolate chip cookies are worth the same thing in this school, I'm kicking you all out and we're starting over.
New school.
Oh, what I would give. But yeah, I just love the idea that, like, there's these people roaming through this, like, 3rd grade lunchroom, and it's just like, no trading, no!
Do you think people at his school, like, did it almost like baby drug dealing?
You have to,
like
right?
Hush, like, because, like, that's, I mean, not that I experienced this, but it seems like if it was, like, something that was popular enough to be banned, it was, like, a very important, an integral part of the, like, lunch kind of, like, dynamic of elementary school. And, like, to have that quite literally ripped away from you would resort into, like, some shady, like, hanging out in the bathroom, maybe trading pretzels and, Twix bars or something.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
That makes it inherently far more desirable, even if you weren't doing it.
Man, they're just fostering baby drug dealers.
Yeah. Especially because if you know, like, that one mom who always packs their kid a bologna sandwich, and you know there are 2 kids who always get Uncrustables every day, you will do whatever you can to get one of those instead of a bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh my
Gotta
God.
climb that pyramid, baby.
Ugh, the politics of lunches. Whereas there was me who packed my lunch every day, and it was either a PB&J sandwich or, worst, a turkey and cheese sandwich that I put Doritos on like a heathen.
Wow.
Listen, if your sandwich did not have chips on it, you're a liar, because
oh my God.
I'm just saying.
God.
It's a new mommy thing. You know what I mean?
I guess.
4th grade me made interesting food decisions. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Hi, welcome to Into the Twilight. We just spent the last 10 minutes talking about nothing.
Yeah, so anyway, 50 Shades of Grey, question mark?
Yes. So that's technically what our podcast is about.
There's gotta be a transition in there somewhere.
Well,
we just gotta find it.
So there is actually a lot of food talk in the chapters that we're going to be discussing today.
That is true.
Now, will we get to it in the next 20 minutes? Maybe. But we do have some other current events that we need to talk about today. We will get there first. Most importantly, Cody, you are bringing to the table something very important. An update on one movie that is not, in fact, 8th grade, but something that is actually relevant to this podcast. Would you like to share?
Believe it or not, a relevant movie. Lizzie!
Yes.
Y'all know, we talked about it, but she's got a trailer officially, and she's good, folks.
Yo.
If you're new here, or, it's been a couple weeks, maybe you've forgotten, this is the movie in which Kristen Stewart and Chloe Sevigny are murderers and also lesbians. And it's great. And also period clothing. It's all good. It's all very good.
Thank you to whatever higher power answered my unspoken prayer for this movie that I didn't know I needed, but gave it to me anyway. And I'm so thankful.
Honestly, thank God.
Yes, the back-to-school movie that we all wanted,
Truly.
So yes, I'm very excited for this movie to come out. The trailer looks great. The music in it is very spoopy, and it should be great. Oh, speaking of spoopy, again, a content piece that's not sponsored, thanks to our 5 minutes about Gushers, too. Your girl made the mistake of going into a Michael's a couple days ago, and should remind you, it's August, and that warehouse was so... I've never related to the Ben Wyatt gif of him being assaulted by a skeleton more in my whole life.
Yeah.
But in a good way. I was there to get a couple of things for my classroom, and I was just truly assaulted by pumpkins and skeletons.
Yeah, it happens.
And glittery spiders,
Yeah.
Michael Spiders,
Yeah.
Tell me more about a band named Michael Spiders.
I mean, it's probably just okay.
Probably just okay. It's probably some sort of cover band,
Yeah.
Okay. So we have another article talking about the decade that it's been since Twilight happened. There's not too much to talk about here, but this is basically just a good reminder that it's been 10 years since Twilight came out, and that Stephenie Meyer is still alive and around, baby.
Yeah, she's still doing it, turns out.
Yeah, it's just a long-ish article, basically just plugging her Twitter account, and that she's basically written other books that we have not read here, but basically have existed. And if you go to her Twitter account, she is still promoting heavily her TV show that's going to exist.
Great.
So enjoy that.
Love it.
Yes. The last... and this should really just become a corner at this point.
Yeah. It's in corner territory for sure.
At this point, yes. Is an article titled 13 Couples That Saved the Twilight Franchise and 7 That Hurt It. And, drumroll please, is from Screen Rant. This was written by Gregory Thompson because, as Cody mentioned earlier off air, there is someone at Screen Rant that is pushing so hard for Twilight content to exist online that is not currently. So thank you, Screen Rant, for doing the Lord's work that literally no one has ever asked for.
No.
So, yes, this is, again, another listicle about couples that are great in this franchise and ones that are bad. So, ones of note, I would say.
Yeah.
And ones that are surprising that aren't on here. Ones that are surprising that aren't on here, for me, obviously, Charlie and Carlisle.
Yeah, well...
I mean, it's just disrespectful at this point that it's not acknowledged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just saying. I think the top 3...
Yeah.
Honestly, like, the top 5, but the top 3 here are quite interesting.
Yeah.
So the top 3 are The Hurt is Quill and Claire. And mainly that being for the imprinting business, which, you know, not surprising for that. Now, number 2, not really surprising for me, but quite high, I think is the part that surprises me, is that it saves is Kate and Garrett. Now, don't get me wrong, I love me some Garrett.
Sure, listen, if just this give me another excuse to look at Lee Pace again, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Am I having a great time doing it? Yes, thank you so much, Screen Rant.
And Kate, you know, does not give a fuck. And
sure. I mean, they're a fun couple, for sure.
But, like, number 2?
Yeah, no, there's no reason for it to be the second on this list.
Right. And number 1. A shocker for most people, I would
everyone.
say. Yes. Coming from the Egyptian Coven, and most notably from Breaking Dawn, is Amun and Kebi. Amun being, like, we know him from, like, Benjamin, and always being like, "Rawr, Benjamin, always hide your powers, rawr."
Right.
And so, like, what? Like, why?
Excuse me?
I'm very intrigued on, like, why these are so high on the list here.
Yeah, it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yes. So I'm very intrigued by this list. There's a lot of hot takes on here.
Sure.
One of the ones that I think is very valuable is the fact that number 10, like, Hurt, is Mike Newton, and Jessica Stanley. Thank you for that. Anytime that you disrespect Jessica, rude. But I do think the fact that Mike Newton is always bringing down Jessica is important to understand there. I think it's disrespectful to have Sam and Emily be so low.
Sure.
Like, you should make them higher on that list. But it's fine. Like, I'm bitter, but it's fine. So I would definitely look at that list and let us know where you would rank those couples for
Let
sure.
Let us know.
Yes.
Let us know.
We do have a couple of listener questions today. We have one from one of our patrons, Sophia, who asks, "We all know these characters are trash, TM, and we change a whole lot about them. But if you'd only change one thing about Christian and Anna, what would it be and why?"
Ooh, God.
I feel like this is a really good question.
It's a really good question. I think, like, it really makes you think about what are the core issues between the two of them that really can account for a lot of their, like, problems.
Yes.
Right? So, like, Christian, for example, he has a very unrelenting relationship with control.
Yes.
And that is present in all of his relationships, romantic or otherwise. So he has this idea of, like, how he wants to present himself, and his guards are up, and he doesn't want people, like, taking into that. But on the flip side, he also, like, projects that onto other people and, like, uses maybe a power that he felt he didn't have with Mrs. Robinson, or he didn't have in his upbringing or whatever with his mother, that he feels he must, like, control other people and in certain ways, and also utilizing BDSM as a vehicle to do that in an unsafe way and in a relationship type of way.
Yes.
With Anna, oh god, there's so many things.
So many. Yes.
So many things. But I think it comes down to just the fact that she won't let herself experiment and won't let herself, like, try things. The fact that, like, the first relationship she's in and the first person she has sex with, and all these firsts that are happening in her life, that she's like, this is what love is. Like, I don't have to experience anything outside of this because I got it. Like, this is it. Meanwhile, if she, like, knew there was anything else outside of that, she'd probably be like, this is fucking nuts. Let's not do this.
Right. Yes, I agree. I think the one with Christian, like, his relentless need for control is exactly what I would say.
Yeah.
And with Anna, I can't decide if that is the one I want to go with, or, like, I feel like that one is perfect, too, because the other one I would say is, like, her jealousy. But I think that kind of comes with time, too.
Yeah.
Because with her desire to, like, experiment, I think would kind of build on that confidence,
right,
and would lessen some of that jealousy and self-consciousness, too.
Yeah.
So, I feel with her, anyways, those are intertwined.
Right. Yeah, they're all really related, and the fact that she doesn't have confidence and that she doesn't really have any experience are really linked because they kind of feel each other, because, like, she's never really been validated sexually or romantically, and this is kind of her first experience with anything like that, so she's just kind of like, oh, well, maybe I'm supposed to feel bad sometimes, or maybe this is, like, everyone kind of feels shitty about themselves, and maybe this is just something I should expect to feel. And
right.
It's just her, like, settling for, like, feelings that she doesn't necessarily have to sit with, you know?
Right, exactly. And I think it seems like with a lot of the things that happened with her, like, she did not receive a lot of emotional love. Well, yeah. I mean, she mentions in these chapters that, like, her mom kind of, like, loves her unconditionally and stuff, which is great. Yeah. But if this is supposed to mirror exactly what happened with Bella, there's a lot of, like, emotional detachment that comes with her family, right?
Yeah.
And so if everything that happens with her kind of happens to her, I think her having a little bit more agency and having the confidence to have that agency would be valuable in kind of creating that communication with both of them.
For sure.
So, yes, I like that question. That is a valuable one. So thank you, Sophia.
Yeah.
Choosing only one is hard, though.
Yeah. Throw them all away. That's the answer. Just
start over.
Shoot them into the sun.
I would like to trade them for some cosmic brownies, please and thank you. So we did get a couple more questions. The first, well, basically the second one is, what do you think the worst line in 50 Shades of Grey is so far? Where do I choose? How do I choose?
Yeah, how does one choose?
Throw a dart.
Right. It's hard to even, like, scale worse in terms of, like, do I want to say something that's, like, the most cringy, or do I want to say something that's the most, like, genuinely abusive and, like, bad that people had to, like, read? Mm-hmm. Because there's examples of both, really.
Right. If I'm thinking abusive, I cannot forget the tampon thing.
Yeah, that's easily number one. Yeah.
If I'm thinking cringy, the amount of times that he says "laters, baby," and how that has stuck throughout the fandom, I think kills me inside every time I have to read it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Especially because her, like, inner goddess, like, freaks out every time that he says that.
Yeah, anytime she says inner goddess, really, is a bad line.
And the second question that we got was, when we blush, do our faces turn the color of the Communist Manifesto? For me, yes.
I love that. Oh, I love that.
Yep. So.
Wow. This is the most intimate this podcast has ever gotten.
Yep.
Wow.
As someone who has definitely never seen Cody, I can confirm that when Cody blushes, they look just like the YouTube play button.
Hey, you don't know that. I honestly can't remember the last time I blushed.
Okay.
I don't know if I felt that.
That's
feeling.
the most cancer thing you've ever said, so
I don't
shut
know
your
if
mouth.
that's something I don't... Because, like, my cheeks are always, like, kind of red just because I have, like, rosacea kind of everywhere. Like, very mild rosacea everywhere. So, like, my body is just kind of, like, pink in general. Yeah, I don't remember my cheeks ever, like, getting hot or, like, blushing.
Yeah, that's a mood. I mean, like, I have Irish in me, so my cheeks are, like, always part of kind of red. Here's a fucked up thing, and this is just, like, a side tangent. I get, like, mildly jealous of people that, like, can blush when they sweat. Or, like, when they work out. You know, like, when they're just their cheeks get pink. Because when it gets hot out, like it has in this, like, the summertime, I look like a blistered tomato.
Yo, it is a full face operation.
Agreed, right? Like, I look like the face on the operation box. Like, it is not cute.
It's like, why is my forehead blushing? I don't understand.
Yeah. Like,
Science, help me out.
Why do my ears look red? Yeah. Like, I don't understand. Like, why is my décolleté red? I haven't even been outside. It's just hot out. Like, this is not... Who looks cute when they're hot?
Yeah, no one.
I can't relate. Relate.
Unrelatable concept.
Anyways, so let's actually talk about these last two chapters of this fucking book. Please,
yeah, baby.
Thank you. Okay, so chapter 25. Anna leaves to go find Christian Grey. What if I just talk like Siri for the rest of this?
Just staccato, like, let's do it syllable by syllable.
Yes, I just sound like a syllabic AI for the rest of this. There's a lot of, like, Prince Frog talk in the beginning of this, which, sure, yep. Christian's definitely a prince. Yep, totally not weird.
Also, I feel like they both have a very large misunderstanding of that phrase. Or that story, at least. Because her mom is like, oh, well, you know what they say, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs before you meet a prince. And she's like, well, actually, I did meet a prince, I'm just worried he's gonna turn into a frog. And it's like, none of you know what that story is. None of this is right. This is totally correct.
Actually, Mom, I already fucked a frog, and he is a prince now, so...
My pussy turned that frog into a prince, I'll have you know.
Okay. Wow.
Is that not what the Princess and the Frog movie was about?
Is that a name of an Adam and Eve sex toy?
Fuck, I wish. Oh.
Alright. Here's our code. Get your pussy frog for 50%.
Never say pussy frog.
Ribbit, you know what I mean?
No, stop. Oh my god.
This is the content you guys wanted with this podcast, right? This is what you came here for?
This is as good as it gets.
No, it's not, because now it's time for Cody's rant corner about airports.
Okay, here's the fucking thing, alright? I know that we're like, oh, E.L. James doesn't know anything about America, and she's just blindly, like, writing about America. I don't even... Has she ever even been there before writing this? I
don't think so.
I have no idea. No idea. Clearly, that is true, because she writes a scene in which... her parents are escorting, I almost said Bella, Jesus Christ, Anna.
See?
It's like a virus, you did this
It's been 12 weeks, and I still think they're the same person.
So they're escorting Anna to the gate, which, last time I checked, you can't do anymore because of a little thing called 9/11.
Yep.
Which, like, I literally had to, like, go back into my mind. It's like, oh, was this book earlier than I thought it was? I was like, wait a minute, maybe I, like, misremembered the date. No, this shit's still in, like, 2011. Ildren just didn't know that what happened after 9/11 in terms of airports. Cool. That's fun.
No, 2000, when there were Blackberries and new MacBook Pros.
Listen, alright? Blackberries have been here. I don't know. It just caught me so off guard that I was like, wait a minute. You can't do that. You can't just walk up to the gate if you don't have a flight.
No,
because 9/11 happened.
It took me so out of the scene because I was like, that's not how things work here.
Oh. Wow, E.L. James really doesn't know.
Yeah, and there's another part too that I'm gonna get really hyped up about in a little bit because it made me roll existential. But this part really fucked with my head.
Yeah.
So E.L. James, sorry, but we don't do that here, okay?
No.
Families don't work like that.
No.
Well, airports don't work like that, but families don't work like that, okay? Yes. There was a part, too, where she, like, leaves and gets on board and stuff, and then Anna's, like, thinking about all this, because she's like, actually, I just want Christian to love me, and she goes on about this, and she's like, I recognize within me a deep-seated compulsion to be loved and cherished, and I just want I want the listeners here to kind of ruminate on this sentence for a second, about how, as human beings in this world right now, that you wanting to be loved and cherished is not a deep-seated compulsion.
He's so just, like, walk deep in the trenches of your body. This is what I'm saying, though. She doesn't know relationships, so she's just like, whoa, I thought about it, and I kind of want to feel respected and loved. Does everyone else feel this way?
Yeah.
This is so weird. Like, this is gross. Why do I want to, want someone to love me? Ew, what? What is that?
Yeah. And it sucks because...
And wake up, you're an adult woman.
Right? Like...
Be in a functional relationship challenge.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, she's, like, all up in her feelings right now.
Yeah. Wow, I love Drake.
Alright, fuck off.
What? What?
Oh, God. It's fine. Stay in your car, Anna.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, for real, though, everybody listening to this right now, can you just stay in your fucking cars for a second?
Yeah.
Because, like, it's not funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit funny, but, like, it's not funny.
It's run its course. If you're still doing it at this point, by the time this is up, you're stop.
The only challenge that was funny, and I saw this because of Megan Tonja, so, like, I don't get credit for this, but the only challenge that I saw was funny was this mom who let her kid do it, and then she drove away.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's it. You know what I mean? But stop it. Okay.
It's also the plot of Lady Bird, in case you didn't know.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Thank you so much.
That was good. Okay. So Anna starts BB emailing. No, I tried.
That's fine. The year is 2000.
And everything is underwater. Oh, damn it. No.
Stop. We gotta keep going.
Okay.
Going at tirades.
My whole life is a tirade. So they try emailing about the fact that she's coming home. And they go like 3 emails without changing the title. Y'all, this sounds like I'm making a big deal over nothing, but I'm telling you this never happens with them.
No.
So we're almost getting somewhere.
Are we seeing character development, ?
And it's about Homeward Bound, which one of these days, patrons, I'm gonna make Cody watch Homeward Bound with me, and we're gonna watch it.
I would love that.
Oh, God. I made a mistake one time when I was substituting to watch Homeward Bound with the, like, second graders that I was substituting with, and your girl just sobbed into the popcorn that she had. It was fine. It was a bad thing, though. Okay, so she gets to SeaTac, and Taylor's there.
Yep.
She has a revelation that Taylor is the only man who's ever bought her underwear before. And she has this, like, while getting into the car with Taylor. It's a very interesting revelation.
Yeah, just a cool dynamic you have with someone.
Yeah, she's like, am I supposed to be horny for this man? I don't know how to feel.
What is my relationship with you?
Yeah. And she's, they're, like, about to get in traffic and stuff, and she's like, I don't know how to feel. Taylor, could you just put some relaxing music on? And this was the moment where Cody, because they don't say what music it is. So I would like you to guess what the soothing music it is that Taylor puts on.
Oh man, this is so sad. Alexa, play Careless Whisper.
Okay, because I chose something very different as soothing.
Oh boy. I love
Okay. Alexa, play Down with the Sickness. I stand by my choice.
Alexa, play the greatest hits album of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Alexa, play All-Star Club Remix.
Oh my god. Alexa, play Toxic by Britney Spears.
Alexa, play 1,000 Miles.
Now that's some soothing fucking music.
That's true. Do one more, please.
Oh god. Suddenly I've forgotten every song. Alexa, play Emotion by Carly Rae Jepsen.
Thank you. Okay. Alexa, play So Yesterday by Hilary Duff.
Oh my god.
I would cry. I would do that thing where I'd be like looking out the window pretending I was in a music video.
Contemplating about your relationship with the man who bought you underwear.
Yep.
As he drives you to your, like, sex buddy's house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's very good. Okay. So that was good. That was good. Thank you. So, Taylor, after rush hour traffic, gets fuck, I almost called her Bella. Gets Anna to Christian's house. And cue sex. Right?
Yeah. Just immediately.
Yeah, like he's on a business call. But they have sex.
Can you imagine if he was still on the call?
Ew! Stop. He just, like, puts it on mute, and... Okay, here's the thing. This is, like, Christian's version of, like, when you have a conversation with someone and you don't want to be rude, but you, like, put it on mute while you're making food with some, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever done that? You just, like, make food while you're on the phone with somebody? So you just put yourself on mute. But he's like...
you're a monster. I think that's what that is.
Oh. You don't ever do... Oh.
I'll talk to my friends making food.
Oh, well, I put myself on mute because I don't want to, crunch.
I don't want them to hear me crunch.
Or, like, I don't want to... Sometimes the sound of the microwave is, like, really startling,
Listen, I want my friends to be jealous about how good onions smell when they cook.
That's true. I have heard you make food while we were prepping for the pod.
It's true, I do it a lot.
But yes, so anyways, they have sex, like, a lot.
Yeah.
And then they're, like, having small talk in the bathroom. I don't know. It's, like, their usual. They talk about her getting a job, and we find out that he apparently didn't find out what company that she worked for. I don't believe that.
It's like, I'd never intervene with your career unless you wanted me to. Like, fuck off, Christian.
Yes, agreed.
You know everything about everyone because you're weird.
Yes. He's the worst. They, like, talk for a little bit while having dinner. He wants her to go to the Red Room, so she does. They go to the Red Room and have this kind of, like, BDSM sponsored by Beats by Dre experience.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's fine.
He's like, I want you to, like, not hear me. And he's, like, wearing headphones, and she's wearing headphones, and they're listening to the same music. Which, again, I don't remember if it's described what it was.
It's Latin. Like, it's...
Oh, right.
It's that chorus singing Latin music.
Cool. One thing of note was that when he was explaining her this, she was like, oh, man, I hope he doesn't put on a rap song.
Yep.
I'm like, wow. Pacific Northwest white lady who
Yep.
doesn't like urban things. Get over yourself, Anna.
Yeah.
I don't listen to rap. I read books.
Yeah, it was very
Sorry.
weird.
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, you don't want to listen to... I don't know. I just feel like... What if he just put on, like, Nicki Minaj and Ariana Grande's, like, Get On Your Knees? Like, you don't want to fuck to that?
Come on.
But yeah, instead he plays Spem and Alum, which is, like, a 40-part motet by, like, Thomas Tallis, which, like,
Sure.
I said that wrong. But, like, fuck off, Christian.
Yeah,
like,
get out of here.
All right. You want to listen to a chorus singing Latin? That makes me have religious guilt.
Yo.
Like, that's a me
wow, I'm
problem.
really thinking
but like,
about my Catholic guilt right now.
I
know. Whoo.
I'm thinking about like dry wafer crackers right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so their Beats by Dre experience was interesting, and the chapter ends as usual with them falling asleep.
God, I'm so bored.
Yes, but the nice thing is, it goes into chapter 26, which is the last chapter of this book.
Hell yeah, dude.
Now, keep in mind, right, the reason that Christian left early was because of this, like, unspoken situation that's happening. That we still don't know what's happening, right?
No.
But it's, like, capital B big.
Yeah.
And this book is ending.
Yeah. We gotta cut to the feeling, alright?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
You're welcome.
So, last chapter of this book, she wakes up.
Buckle up, everyone.
Christian's gone, as usual.
Yeah.
She wakes up, she feels rested, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, but it's because of the time difference, and she's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I need to take my birth control pill. As usual, Christian is gone, he's playing the piano, it's sad, emo music, as usual. He's playing Down with the Sickness, okay? It's fine.
An instrumental. The sickness. It's beautiful. It's poetry.
He's crying, like, it's fine.
Yeah. He's eroding the keys because his tears. It's just so...
Yeah, his acidic tears.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a sex robot. And you really
on,
don't want
keep
those to cry.
Keep up.
So they talk a little bit. And one of my favorite things is she asks him, like, why do you always play sad stuff? And he's like, I don't. Why do you always play sad stuff? Like,
Whoa. You're kind of bumming my belly right now.
Yeah.
The fuck, dude?
He's like, Chopin isn't sad. Stop. Like, what?
It's only when you experience true sadness that you can appreciate happiness.
Yeah.
Anna.
And your lucky numbers for today are, like...
He's a fortune cookie.
So they start talking about the contract, as they always do, because they don't know what else to talk about.
No.
They say moot to each other like 8 different times. Because he's like, well, I think the contract at this point is like moot. And she's like, moot? And they just keep saying it to each other.
It's like, yeah, moot.
It's the funniest fucking thing.
It's such a dumb word. I love it.
I know. I love the word moot. So they start talking about, like, rules and punishment. And she's like, well, I don't really know what all was in that contract. Like, we should probably look over it. And he's like, oh, yes. And he's, like, wearing nothing, but he just, like, pulls the contract out of nowhere. Like, he still has it on him at all times.
Yeah, he just got out of, like, a trench coat he turned out to be wearing the whole time.
Yeah, at all times, Christian has the contract, a condom, and lip gloss. Like, he's a man on the move.
Yeah, he's got places to be, alright?
It's great. So
and he's got big pockets, so he can just fit it all in one pocket.
Fuck, what I would give for pockets, you know what I mean?
Truly.
So, remember, last chapter, we still don't know what's happening. But we're spending this last chapter going through this same contract that we've gone over multiple times now.
Like, word for word, except some things are crossed out.
Yep.
That's it.
And some things are bolded. Thank you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that's great. Most of this conversation between them is about punishment.
Yeah.
And at first, it's kind of, like, playful, and she's like, oh, yeah, you're not going to catch me. I'm going to hide behind this bar, and meh. And it seems, like, cute for being 5 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
But then she's like, don't. Like, that's basically it. And
It's like, hey, I know you want to talk, but wouldn't you rather me fuck you on this piano? She's like, no.
right.
Let's figure this shit out, Christian.
Yes, exactly. And then he starts talking about, like, I'm going to catch you and all this punishment and stuff. And she's like, I don't. Like, that's the point. Like, I feel about punishment the way that you feel about my touching you. And then immediately, like, his demeanor changes.
He just turns into, like, a cloud of dust.
Yes. And it's, like, 5:45, and he's completely hurt. Yeah. And finally, after weeks now, he gets it. Like, it clicks for him. about what she's been saying of, like, I don't like you punishing me, Christian.
Yeah.
And so they finally have this conversation of, like, I don't want you to hurt me. I don't like it. And then him being like, but I want to hurt you. I need to hurt you. Like,
it's like a circle and a square, or a square peg in a round hole. It's just like, but if I keep trying, maybe you'll get it, because I want to hurt you. And she's like, nope, we're not gonna do that. It's not gonna work. It's not. I don't want you to do it.
Yep. But then this weird shift happens, right? Because, again, it's Anna's first relationship, and she's all up in her feelings, right? And so Anna finally is like, Christian's like, I don't want you to go. And she's like, well, I don't want to go. I want this to work. And so finally...
I want you to be better.
Right, exactly. And so finally she's like, well, show me how hard this can be. And it's like, wait, hold on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, I get it to an extent, right? Because, like, this is the closest thing she has had to... This is the only thing she's had in terms of relationship. And it's something the emotions she's feeling are so intense, and she's seeing it, like, literally, like, run away from her. And she's like, no, I gotta do whatever it takes to keep this, because I'm not gonna have anything like this ever again. Like, no one's gonna love me like this. No one's gonna, like, treat me like this way. Even if he does hurt me, maybe it's fine. Like, maybe we'll push past it, and, like, because I love him and all these things or whatever. But the fact that she's like, how bad can it get? We've been doing this for, 2 weeks? Maybe? 2 or 3 weeks? A month? I don't know. And we've really, like, got a toe in the water of what he enjoys as far as BDSM and how far he can push her. And she's just like, all right, let's just test it out. Let's see how bad it can get. And it won't ruin me. That's fine.
Exactly.
It's like, is that wise? And Christian's like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Like, what? Why are you letting this happen?
Exactly. Well, and the problem is she even says, like, I have an ulterior motive. If I do this for him, maybe he will let me touch him. And this is the problem, right? Yeah. And she doesn't really know this yet. I mean, she should, like, with friendships. But the point of gifts is that you shouldn't be doing it to expect something back. Yeah. And yet that is exactly why she is doing this. She was doing something that she has just explicitly said and has before said that she is afraid of, that she does not like, and that makes her feel unsafe, with the explicit intent that she wants to have a deeper relationship with him. And she is not saying this out loud, but hoping that he will understand that. Right. And that is what... He can't read her mind.
Right. And even when what she's verbally saying is not even how she feels about the situation, simply because, like, when he goes all like, whoa, you really don't like it that much? And she's like, no, it's not the same. Yeah. But, like, it gives you an idea, and she keeps just, like, backpedaling about, like, how it's really not that bad, and, like, how being punished isn't really that bad for her. But it's like, no, like, you were upfront and gave, like, a very comparable example, and you were also trying to, like, get him to see where you're coming from in the same way. And the fact that, like, he's also starting to maybe get it and be like, oh, maybe this is something I shouldn't do. She just goes immediately be like, no, it's fine. I was overreacting. Yeah. Let's just whip me, please. Is that going to make it better?
Yeah. And so he does, because that's what she asks him to do. Mm-hmm. So he does it 6 times, and he asks her to count along. Mm-hmm. And throughout, like, the day before, he had made it clear, like, in the red room and stuff, he had made it clear, like, their safe words and stuff. And even though he had seemed a little, like, patronizing about it, he had made it clear to her, like, to have her repeat them out loud, like, to get a vocal confirmation of them. Yeah. So she knows what they are to use them in this space. Mm-hmm. So he smacks her butt 6 times and has her repeat them out loud. And after he is done, he, like, tries to pull her into an embrace, and she is completely over it. Mm-hmm. And is, like, pissed and, like, yells at him and, like, completely leaves. Yeah.
And it's just an insufferable amount of pain.
Absolutely.
Like, she crawls into his bed with the robe on and, like, just cries.
Yep. Yeah. And he, like, follows her, not not in his, like, usual way,
Yeah.
but in a, like, I am dropping off ibuprofen for you and some sort of, like, cream to help with the pain. I think he does end up staying there. Yeah, he ends up, like, staying there to, like, hold her. But she ends up leaving because she says, like, I've fallen in love with you. And he's like, oh, no. Like,
yeah. Like, oh, fuck. That wasn't supposed to happen.
And this is the thing, right? Because this is the reason why she came back, was following her mom's advice, right?
Yeah.
Of, like, this is obvious, right? Like, her mom said, it's obvious that he loves you too, right? So, of course, she says this back. And he's like, oh, no. And, like, this is... no, like, you can't love me. And so they kind of are at this impasse of, like, you can't love me. We can't get past this. And so she's like, I gotta dip out then. There's no point in me staying.
Yeah.
Which sucks for her.
Yeah. Right.
But, like, oh no, I didn't see that coming.
Right. It's like, this all could have been prevented. But don't you wish this is, like, the series just ended here?
Oh,
Wouldn't
yeah.
that be great?
Yeah.
She, like, or the next book, she's like, I'm gonna focus on my career and find out what healthy coping mechanisms and relationships look like.
Yeah, that was, like, the last chapter or the epilogue.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, I got a sick job, I got a hot boyfriend who listens to me and I feel comfortable talking to, and I got my friends, and they're great. End of the book. Fuck Christian, he died.
Yeah.
He rebooted and...
He rebooted. Yeah, he got a software update and that'd be great.
And he turned out to be a fine dude.
She goes to go grab her suitcase, and we find out what the gift was that she had for him, that her and her mom picked out, which was a model kit for a plane, so she leaves a note for that with him. She wants to leave everything that he gave her, like the MacBook, the phone, her car keys, all of those kinds of things. And he is not amused by that.
No.
He really doesn't want, he really wants Taylor to take her home, and, like, she's trying to defy that, all this stuff. He's like, I don't want you to go, but she's like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't stay here.
Yeah.
And all this stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, so she leaves, goes back to her place, finally, for the first time in who knows how long, and sees the helicopter balloon that was there, and that's kind of where this book ends, is her falling onto the bed and just kind of sobbing.
Yeah.
So, yikes.
Woo!
But that's where we leave off with book 1. Ugh.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, next week, Cody, what are we doing?
We're watching the 50 Shades of Grey movie.
Yes, we are!
Why are you so excited?
Mainly because I've heard that the soundtrack bops.
No, the soundtrack fucks, alright? I'll give it that.
And I'm excited for that, because I don't know anything about the soundtrack.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, dude, Beyonce's got a great song in it.
Oh, I do remember that. I do remember that, but
There's
I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
So, I don't know anything, really. And so I'm excited to see what this awful tension is that everybody talked about between Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, I'm interested to see these weird characters as people, and like real people with real human bodies.
Right.
Interacting with one another.
Yeah, because I know that Jamie Dornan is not a sex robot. So I'm very interested in this casting.
Well, have we confirmed that?
Not personally.
Well.
Do you want me to be... I mean...
I'm just saying, you're getting at a lot of claims here, and I just want to make sure everything we say here on this podcast is grounded in some sort of fact.
I mean, I said frog vagina earlier, so, like...
You actually didn't say frog vagina, you said frog pussy.
That's true, I did.
Or was it pussy frog? Fuck, what? Whatever. It was it was horrible. It was a horrible crime that you did, and I wish we wouldn't speak of it anymore.
Yeah, I've said a lot of whack shit these past couple weeks. I'm sorry, folks. The summer is...
You've been going through it, man. You know.
It's true. The heat does something to me. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah.
Do you know what does something to me, too, but in a good way?
What's that?
The patrons that we have.
Hell yeah!
So, I know that we've kind of been teasing this, but we do have some very exciting stuff coming for you near the end of this month that will be exclusive content, adding on to your existing patronages. So, stay tuned for that. You won't need to do anything for that. It will just be added on to what you already have.
But if you're not already hop on that fucking boat before it's too late. It's never too late, but just get on.
The boat will not leave without you.
We will not leave without you, but we would like you to get on a little bit sooner.
Exactly. Yes. So, enjoy that. But we do have a couple of patrons that we would like to shout out, including Shannon Clearwater, who this week is... You know what? This week is going to be that Lizzie Borden trailer.
Oh, gosh. That's good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Katie Weber, who is... Hold on, let me open up this couple listicle one more time. Is number 19 on the list, Alice Cullen and Jasper. As a couple that saved Twilight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for saving Twilight.
Thank you for saving Twilight, Katie Weber.
Katie.
God bless. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So we have a fanfiction this week. What if we just didn't for
chaos. Utter chaos.
Yeah, would just be set on fire.
The world will split open.
So our unofficial intern, Taylor Brown Browntown, has a fanfiction for us this week titled 50's First Fool. And this was written by Sapphire Trafficker.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was published on March 31st.
All right.
This summary was created as such, and it says, when Anna thought it was probably time for her longtime boyfriend Christian Grey to loosen up a little. With the help of her working partner, her boyfriend's shrink, Dr. John Flynn, they managed to pull off several pranks on him, making him the laughing stock in the family and also in the workplace. But the plan backfired.
Ooh.
And it says, rated T, but stretching it a little bit beyond the limit of T and into the M.
Ooh. That's risque in fanfiction. You don't just cross fucking ratings like that.
Listen,
that's ballsy.
Is it? I don't know.
It's a little ballsy.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Listen, if you're gonna do smut, just fucking come out with it. If you're gonna be like, this is T, wink. And that's
I mean, I don't know. Okay. I was given a suggestion of when to start this, so...
Okay.
Let's see. Taylor was standing in the resource room, where the printer was sitting in the room. She recognized it instantly as the room on Christian's floor just outside his office. Upon seeing the sign that she had Taylor stick on, she couldn't help but snicker. The sign looked very real. It was a poster telling anyone who was going to use the printer that the printer could be voice-controlled. The poster simply listed out the instructions that the person had to do in order to make it print. Then, just seconds later, a person walked in. Anna couldn't recognize the person as she didn't know everyone in the company, and Taylor's hiding place couldn't exactly make out the person's face. "Who's that?" John asked over her shoulder, but she quickly shushed him, fearing that she might be heard. Taylor didn't make a sound, but obviously he had headphones in, since the person didn't notice anyone else in the room other than him. The employee walked up to the printer, flipping the top of the scanner up, and placed the document inside, then closed it. When he was about to press the button, he saw the sheet with the list of the instructions next to it. His hand hovered above the touchscreen, but later decided to try out the method. "Damn, he's pissed," Anna commented, knowing that what he looked like when he was pissed off by his employees in the workplace. "Shit's gonna hit the fan," she added, more to herself than to anyone. "I told you to send me a copy of their legal document, not a picture of our dog kissing my girlfriend," Christian yelled once he reached the printing room. "I thought I asked you to do it." He then turned to Andrea, glaring at her accusingly. "I was sorting out the financial spreadsheets that Miss Bailey had sent me so I could send you an organized copy. I asked him to send you that scanned copy," Andrea explained. She got no clue what was going on. "Sir, I really did put the document into the scanner," the intern said sheepishly, cowering under Christian's glare. "Do you think any of them will be in trouble, Taylor?" Anna asked guiltily, questioning her boyfriend's tolerance for jokes and pranks once again. "I'll make sure no one gets harmed by this," Taylor whispered back, though a hint of worry was certain in his voice. "My money's on you, T," Anna replied, her eyes still staring at the encounter through the screen intensely. Walking up to the printer, the intern flipped open the top and pulled the document that he was going to scan, as if proving to Christian that he was going to do what he had asked for. Perhaps something had interrupted the scanning and sent the wrong file, the intern offered helplessly, as Christian looked over the document to make sure that it was another prank. Andrew looked at the open top. End scene.
Wow.
So apparently they start sending butt photos that are scanned, is what I'm getting from this.
That's extremely good.
Yep.
I would much rather read that book.
Yes. Yeah, if all of the people in Christian Grey's company were just using all of his money to just sit on all of his equipment and just scan butt photos, yes, please.
Especially since we still have no idea what this man does for business.
Yes.
This is what for now on, this is just what I'm assuming.
Business. Yeah.
Business. Yes. Thank you.
Very good.
Oh, gosh. Well, as we say in Seattle...
Get bit.
Get whipped!
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrausFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse. You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.